yes, it is finally time. I have been waiting for this Monday. This Monday will be it. You know what time it is, people, don't you? Do you? Yes, that's right. It is time for Ace Attorney Trilogy, Phoenix Wright. Let's dive back into it. Let's turn about memories. Let's relive the past. April 11th, 12:13 p.m. District Court Room Number 2. Oh god, I forgot about this. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is somebody who witnessed the crime as it happened. And why wouldn't you call them first? The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Oh my! What's with this stiff silence? I can't do this! You know, I have a raging court boner right now. In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. I judge to doubt and take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. I don't know. I don't know, I mean, like, looks can be deceiving. You don't see many, red-haired people that are innocent. You know, I'm not being racist against gingers. I meant like in anime. Like, usually people who are the bad guys, they usually have, like, red hair and stuff. And plus their eyes are kind of gray. That's sus. Kind of look like that of a demon, so just, like, kind of, like, blurred out because of the light. I can't believe he actually said that. Oh, God. My prosecution bar. Now then, witness, could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. I lost it. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. They're all so nice. I almost feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, God, I want to kill this bee. What is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I should have named this stream. There's a thorn in my side. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor's all mine. No, the honor's all mine. Back off, you! You're probably still a virgin. Well, we all know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. I'm sorry, what? Really, Mia? Really? Sir? Is there something I can help you with? Just go on and say whatever is on your tits. I'm in your mind. I'm kind of sure there must be some... I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake.
Feeney wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, I can see why you'd say that. But he's guilty! My baldness says so.
And she's gonna be a tough witness, alright. Only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you were doing on Friday. I meant the day of the incident, if you please.
What I witnessed. Witness testimony. I've been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class is over and do some, S&M. That stands for snuggles and making breakfast. Feeney and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, the Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeney noticed that I was there. I went to go find some other students and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn, even though I haven't gotten some in like about 40 or something years. I lost my virginity to a candlestick, but nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never. That's more than enough, a witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies.
Oh, yeah. You could tell.
Nope. Tahee, you haven't changed a bit, Mia Faye. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Faye, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madame Faye. Madame? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. What I witnessed, cross-examination. I've been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Feeney and Dougie were talking behind the building. And suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeney never did a thing to Dougie. I pressed her for no good reason. I know the judge will get angry with me. What should I do about her testimony just now? Let me see the court record. Leave it alone for now. I gotta... That's when Feeney noticed that I was there. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I was so flustered that I really don't remember. Please forgive me. You don't remember?
Well, that's common enough. Yeah. Sometimes I can't recall a sentence I passed only minutes prior. That just shows how bad of a judge I am.
Please, anyone stop him before he gets hurt by me. I went to go find some other students, and they called the authorities. Hold it. When you say students, you mean students from the pharmacology department, right? Not your trailer boys that you see every Friday night? Doli, no! Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs, especially like cocaine, crack, like heroin, nicotine, marijuana. I'm sorry, what? Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students, you went into the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do. But in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow, they all seemed to know what was going on. Students knew what was going on. How could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something. They finally found a cure to cancer. Doesn't look like I'm getting... It doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students. Or the students? So did the students call the police? Yes, I was just so panicked.
Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear.
That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie, and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. I'm totally not jealous and wanting to hop on Phoenix. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep and find the contradiction on this one. Yes, I'm totally not in love with Phoenix Wright. Even though he's sexy. Very sexy.
Okay, so I've been planning to go back to Phoenix's place. I've been Jesus, sorry about it. I just woke up not too long ago, and I know that I had to post this.
Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright, is in the arts department. And that's the case, what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese Senryu poetry.
Oh, how wonderful! Oh, it's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku. Yes.
And what to do when a man reaches this age? Sleep is his best friend. Not supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to go to the art department, I had to walk through that back area.
Oh, yes, I see. Makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always go near the strip club next door. I always walk through the front door.
How else would you enter? Teleportation? Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. So, who is this Dougie person?
Oh, come on. Come on, Mia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Doug swallows a lot of Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So, what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway? can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined. That's right, Miss Fay.
Don't drag the witness down to your level.
What the Why am I being demonetized, you douchebags? You're starting to think with your lower halves.
Please go on. What did you see next?
And suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's the thing you noticed is that I was there.
Okay, so...
Let me think.
And suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. Okay, this is gonna be it. I think that this is... The thing is that with Phoenix Wright games is that they don't always ask the right questions. Or they don't say the right statements sometimes. And it kind of... it irks me. It irks me because it's like... I don't know what is the right... and I know what to say. And that would be an obvious... be a statement. Like I would say... Hey, but wait. Didn't Phoenix Wright say that he admitted to pushing the victim? That truly contradicts the evidence. But all I have here for Phoenix testimony, the victim on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound with it, when this happened. And as the Phoenix testimony said, I admit I pushed the victim, and the victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Then I could prevent it as evidence. But I really don't know. I'm gonna look at this one more time. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right? I was watching the whole time. Fanny never did a thing to Dougie. I pressed her for no good reason. Evil lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never... Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I don't want to die. Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. Yeah, I showed that guy. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. Yes! Yes, thank you, Mia. I didn't have to present the evidence like that. Oh, thank God. That was going to be hard. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try and cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. And, your measurements, maybe.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there was only two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallows. Yes, that's right. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. So, what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break. That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. Judge, that's a nice ring to it. Don't you say?
No, not really, Your Honor.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities. When you say...
Okay, yeah, I already read this part. Yeah, I already read this part. I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. But didn't you say that you weren't able to eavesdrop? Because you said before in your testimony that when I tried to press you that you didn't that you weren't eavesdropping, and now you're saying I didn't hear anything unusual either. Oh.
You say you didn't hear anything unusual, is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, or should I say, your little bit, I meant, never mind. Mr. Phoenix Wright. And he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise, like a There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up. But it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a second, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that it would totally change this case.
Okay, so there she didn't hear anything. Wait, if she said that she was listening to big brain time. She said something that could totally change this whole case. She didn't hear anything. She was listening to music. There was lightning. She said some... Okay, so if there was lightning...
Hey Ken, sorry I missed a little bit of your stream.
Welcome to the stream. Okay. So... Okay, this is kind of confusing now. We know that she did hear something. She had to have. Actually, no. Because if she was that close, she would have heard the umbrella. She said she didn't hear it. That's crossed out. If she was listening, if there was lightning... It's either or one of these two, but I just don't know. Maybe something in the court records. Crime take place. Victims watch at the time of death. Okay. So it would have to be, I think... Alright, I'm gonna save because I don't know.
I say she was listening to music.
Yeah, but if there were... If she was listening to music, I don't know if I could press her for that. I'll try this.
Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
What is this problem? It's obvious. The problem is that she's claimed to have been listening to music. Are you deaf? Did you pay attention to the testimony?
I did multiple times.
She said she was listening to to music to cover up the sound of thunder.
Miss Faye, I must warn you, even I could be more frightening than Zeus when I'm angry.
Yikes, I'm in trouble now.
Well, the testimony we've heard seems to be very decisive. The only thing that could have killed the victim was the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
No, no, please. I never meant to incriminate him. It's bad, Mia. If you don't do something, we're going to lose this. Think again. What is it about the testimony that doesn't make sense? She said something that could totally change this case. I think that it was lightning. Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes? What about it?
Okay, I was right. Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Fay. I failed science back in high school.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
What kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? The entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. That very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bolt.
It appears that the defense may be on to something. About time. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? I don't believe it.
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fay. Huh? I never said anything that relates to you. Get the hell out of here. I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. What? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence?
It's a edivit.
And who is this edivit from?
Pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students, and also known as the guys who should have been here instead of Miss Hawthorne. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden around 3 o'clock that day.
Was it a blackout?
All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying that the equipment lost power because... Precisely. They lost power because of a severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred approximately at 3 o'clock p.m.
Which fits in time with the as listed in the autopsy report.
But the watch says that he died at 3:05.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cables. According to the students, the cables were very old. They're planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables have become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
Around 3. Soon testimony. The old power cable broke due to some sort of impact on 4/9 at 2:55 p.m.
However, there's one thing that troubles me. If the cables could have been broken by any small bump, it wouldn't have snapped. It wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that. Okay, this is where I need big brain time. Big brain. Huge brain blast.
Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor. I don't like how this is looking in one bit. I have to come up with
LOL.
something. To try and regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
There was Mr. Grossberg all along. Okay. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, boy, boy. Yeah, okay, who or what it could have caused the cable to break? Victim's watch stopped at time of death. 2:55. There's a time gap of 10 minutes because the victim's watch stopped at 3:05. Cause of death was due to a fatal electric shock. Who or what could have caused it?
My brain hurts laugh.
Brain time. I could admit that the Phoenix Wright did it. But then that might be... Oh my god, that might be bad for me. Ooh. I feel my brain is about to break out of my skull. Hey, Phoenix Wright, age 21. My client at a third-year art university. Currently has a cold. The victim, he was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Dahlia Hawthorne, age 20. I can't just admit that it's just... that it's just... It can't be the umbrella. It couldn't have been the umbrella because it fell right on top of him. Oof. There's some sort of impact. The only one I could think of would be Doug if I don't want to say that it's Phoenix. I can't save here. They say you can save at any time, yet they put these moments where you can't save. I'm gonna go with Doug. If not, then I'm gonna go with Phoenix.
This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor.
I believe that the only thing that snapped is the mind of the defense.
Ah, that was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor. Oh, that was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what caused the electrical cable to break? Okay, I'm gonna have to go.
Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
Okay, yeah, I was right.
Defendant's testimony?
I was gonna say Doug because he got pushed by Phoenix, but Phoenix initially caused him to be pushed.
He said that after he pushed, the victim heard a loud, sharp sound. Now, this happened around 3 o'clock. Correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that?
The lab equipment lost power around 2:55, which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. It was that very shove that caused Mr. Swall to be electrocuted.
But the time of death was 3:05. Now,
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne and my brum. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. That was the impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted.
Idiots. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. The victim was shoved into the bar pole, and he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Why do you have an umbrella inside? Order! Order in the court!
Limitations are my enemy. How I've longed to hear them.
It's true, the defense is absolutely correct! There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have done it!
Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? Madame's attorney's explanation. She said that some things are a little different than I remember them.
What?
What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
I mean, like, your boyfriend, your so-called boyfriend is basically then an innocent. Technically, shouldn't you be happy with that?
Of course it's alright! Just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
What I witnessed, part 2.
The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Doli tried his best to run away from him. But Feeny caught up to him and crashed him from behind. The cable snapping and Doli being electrocuted, it was all occurred in less than a minute.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
That's when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
Wouldn't you have found more fingerprints then?
I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Faye, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
What I witnessed, part 2. Alright, here we go, people.
The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice.
Won't they have found more fingerprints?
Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment, and he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me? You know I'm like in my 20s? Of course he won't.
Oh, come on now. It was just a little white lie.
But what? No, that was a huge lie.
We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, alright?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all. Ho, ho, ho! I'm Santa now.
The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier here than that girl.
Oh, I got a trophy. Beware your honor.
The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? I never imagined he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. Why don't you break up with him and go out with me instead?
And Dougie tried his best to run away from him. So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold. Miss Faye, I have to ask you to stop badgering the witness.
But it's obvious! Stop it! Stop thinking!
I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was just stand there and cheer them on.
What the?
Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? That seems kind of... Well, I wish the best for both of them and that they would each give the fight their all.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive, especially with your ex.
WTF.
And what happened after that? Feeny caught up to him and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. It doesn't sound quite right. There was handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket? Well, no, there weren't. And may I suggest you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? He wouldn't have left any prints behind in that case, would he? Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's understandable.
Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
I don't figure out the contradiction here. It's all over. I'm trying to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia.
That's when the cable broke.
Okay, so this crime photo shows that it says that the victim's watch stopped at the time of death, which is 3:05. If it all occurred in less than a minute, then he couldn't. Even if he did run away, the cable broke at around 2:55. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Oh, I see what you did there. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Fanny likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's a wristwatch. Thank you! Thank you, Mia. You are a lifesaver. Thank you. It's not at the precise time the victim was electrocuted, which should have been in the autopsy report as exactly 3:05, since the crime photo says it stopped at the time of death. And in an autopsy, you need to be very precise, or else you're not going to get the right information. Ooh. Stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. You see that? It's in red. It's the color red. 3:05, Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne. If that is your real name.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye? Even though you're clearly more beautiful than Miss Hawthorne over here?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? What exactly during this 10-minute interval? Oh, yes! Thank you! Yeah, I apparently, I basically predetermined that this was gonna come. I didn't think that they'd actually explain what happened. And during that 10-minute interval. Thank you, Mia. You are a lifesaver. Oh my god. I'm just like, I'm sorry that I'm really excited, but I can't believe it. Oh, this is why I love these games. They always throw me for a loop. Like, I think that they're not gonna explain it. And then they do. Oh my god. Oh. Thank you. The defense proposed that there it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. It was my other ex, Jonathan. This is not the real murderer? Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for, which is why you should have presented this in the first place. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? Isn't it obvious? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. There was a window of opportunity for the real killer.
Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indicate that someone as this quote-unquote real killer? It was Santa Claus. Not me, I'm the real Santa Claus. There was a fake one. His name was, Bobby Rogers.
It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor. We are ready.
Well, very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Now then, Miss Faye, let's have it. Who is the real killer?
It's Marvin Grossberg. Nick, he's so gross. It's gross bug. No, it's Mr. Payne. He's a virgin. He was jealous. No, I'm just kidding. It's Dahlia Hawthorne. It has to be. She was the only other person who apparently was at the case. Or at the scene of the crime when it happened. Could have only been you, Dahlia Hawthorne.
How can you... The defense is grasping at straws. Oh God, I gotta go pee. Your Honor, may I go pee?
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? This isn't an action game. Well, it kinda is, in a way, sometimes. I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the man dearest to you. Now that's right. You can have Doug, he's already dead.
Order, Miss Faye. What, I mean, why? That is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe that you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands.
How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything.
But there was no one else.
Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge you are.
Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say.
You, what is it?
Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft?
You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that.
Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man.
Leave my Dolly alone. Dolly!
That boy. Oh. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time, wouldn't you say? I found the police report on the incident in your newspaper clippings.
Police report added to the court record. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Let me see what it is. Local incident overview. Location, District Courthouse Cafeteria. Date and time, August 27th, 4 o'clock p.m. Victim, Diego Armando, age 28. Occupation lawyer. Suspect, Dahlia Hawthorne, age 19. Armando had ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. You better take a good look at it, my dear. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend.
Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation, one that I don't like. Miss Hawthorne is totally innocent. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
I am going to save... Well, really, Your Honor, I
May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. Go right ahead.
Samantha, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet douche? I meant Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying that you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. There are so many times where he could have been acquitted as innocent, and yet you kept pressing and trying to get it to seem like he was the murderer. Or even though you were, quote-unquote, pretending to defend.
Objection!
I told you that you should let me handle this.
Sorry, please, go ahead.
Can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion I would try to frame him is ludicrous. It's all just too much for poor little me to bear.
I believe that girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be.
The answer that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Further testimony? What about?
About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What could that possibly have to do with this case?
Objection!
Don't you look at me like that, you son of a the witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason.
Very well then, the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying for just a bit longer?
I mean, like, I have things to do. Like, I don't know, things. Of course not, Mr. Judge. You're ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. What should I say, Miss decoy liar? How I met my Feeny. Witness testimony. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court.
But I'm just saying.
Hey, no!
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her, old chap.
Cross-examination. How I met my Feeny. So I'm going to press her just in case there's any other details. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow? Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. None of my emotions change so quickly. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. Like infamous second son. My critics have even taken calling me Judge Fickle. Ho ho ho, I'm Santa Claus.
Maybe you should look for a different line of work then.
Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct bet. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini. The Great Judgini.
It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. Courthouse's reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, he was not only an art student, he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of question is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you. This has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case.
I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I better tread carefully. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue with her testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What are you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases, Your Honor. The answer is simply this. I'd come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. You were writing a paper on what? On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld.
Ho ho ho! Somebody's going to get Christmas presents. That sounds like a fascinating research idea.
Am I getting old? No, I've even forgotten what I've forgotten. Again with the midlife crisis stuff?
Mia, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? Speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten in the repeats to report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear. Be sure to read it carefully.
Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What is the meaning of this cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago.
Order! 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 This is unbelievable! It's true then.
Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case.
I wouldn't, Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me. Go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Expressed some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see!
Okay, I've tied 2 crimes together. I just gotta stay on the offensive.
Well done, old chap. I mean, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart. And my buttocks. And the thing in front of my buttocks. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
poisoning. Witness testimony. Here we go.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, that it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. You see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get poison like that.
So that's what happened in here 8 months ago.
Well, yes, you would.
However, as you heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. But I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination.
Yeah! What the? Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? It's like they transcended. Like it turned super.
Aha, Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing.
What were you talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you just tell us all what that incident was? That has absolutely nothing to do with this case.
Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record.
You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad time. Don't worry, Doli. I'll protect you.
You heard the man. Now that is true love. Oh yeah, didn't I say if you did that again, you'd be held in contempt of court? Place this man under arrest. He's guilty.
Oh, Fanny, please. Ugh, those two really are making me ill. Albeit for decidedly different reasons, because I love Phoenix Wright, and he's pretty nice and sexy and handsome. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. How long were you gone? I've already answered all these questions for the police, but if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet?
What are you saying, Miss Faye?
Toilet? My perfect little Doli does.
Everything is able to poop. Trees poop apples, or fruits and leaves. Rocks poop sand. And turtles make poops. Everything that's living makes a poop of some way, shape, or form.
You're the defendant, Miss Faye. Better luck next time.
Oh, Fanny, please. The police have already looked into this whole matter. This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time.
Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony.
From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons?
Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says it's a half fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons.
So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? Poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh, and where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry. All I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical in the processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Oh, well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive.
The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that? You see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. And that's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison? I think that's a good enough reason, Madame Faye. She's right, and I think we've all had enough of Miss Faye's question.
So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison.
All we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great. Now just how did a lit student get a hold of poison of all things?
She would, because that was 8 months ago. Okay, I'm gonna save here, just in case I'm wrong. Okay, these two... These two lines lead up to here. Doug Swallow was a pharmacology student. They probably work with the dangerous chemicals all the freaking time. At least I think so. I hope I'm right on this.
Objection!
You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? Your boyfriend. At your boyfriend's lab.
Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallows? Doug Swallow?
That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could have never obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You.
No!
Order! Could it be?
That's nothing but a basic Madame Faye. What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something in that small. Excuse me, madame, but if this is a court of law, you're saying that I threw the container away. I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good with that.
Provide some evidence or I'll disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead.
The police conducted a full body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse. Yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, where's the container? Then where is the container?
You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who is this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. That's stupid. You're stupid. She gave him the poison into him, disguised as a present. What? But
that's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
On the day that the witness is met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th, the very same date as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying that there's a deadly poison in there?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain that if a crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No!
Order in the court.
On behalf of Doli, I object.
Mr. Wright, control yourself. I know, she's very pretty, even though Miss Faye is much prettier, but she's a lawyer, so we don't really care. I won't let you bully her like this.
Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why?
Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love? I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway?
Well, I guess she must have been madly in love with me too.
Mr. Wright, please open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is because of that necklace. Dahlia Hawthorne was not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. To make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you.
No! That's a lie! Mia, are you alright? The defendant! He's getting away! Bailiff, hurry! After him! Mia, are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane. Maybe he is guilty.
Where's Mr. Wright?
Looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough.
Thank goodness. Oh no!
What is it?
A bottle necklace. This Hawthorne's present. It's gone!
What? That's terrible! So...
And Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What blazes are we supposed to do now? Oh, my hemorrhoids! My hemorrhoids, they're bleeding! Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay. Just give back the necklace. I ate it. You what?
You ate it?
It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah.
What is he doing now?
Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly the bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it seems.
No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must have not had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison may have lost its potency. There. It's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's very heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust this witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough! Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the event.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything. Even though we just had some and it was basically gone.
Even after I proved so much, is she going to get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say?
there's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's not your business. I'm telling you for your own sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? Same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous! There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Ollie was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Doli.
Your Honor, the defendant is...
Miss Faye, you tell them. Doli didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dahlia stored poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison the night before she killed Doug Swallow.
The night before?
Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye.
You're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this.
Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore...
Who exactly was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill?
It couldn't have been Doug because he got electrocuted. If I would have had to have been Phoenix. There is one person that was standing squarely in Dahlia Hawthorne's way, and that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Me?
That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Yeah, well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could have been, that it could be.
But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right, the bottle necklace. That's all she cared about.
But even so, why? Why would she go as far as to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time. There was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little old bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
That can't be true!
Lainey, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne!
It appears that we are nearing the end of this trial. And I could tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Well, Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge?
No.
With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home if you don't mind.
But we're not finished yet.
Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already.
Hold it!
I can't let her get away this time.
Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer.
The ultimate price?
You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
No! You better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray?
Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all?
I mess up here. My career as a lawyer is over.
I'm going to say...
To be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible! You can't possibly! Stupid woman.
It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will only allow one piece of evidence to be presented.
Just one?
You're truly unable to establish her guilt. I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright.
I understand, Your Honor. I could just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to the earth before she gets a chance to soar. She's planning on to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there.
Well then, Miss Faye, please present your evidence. Show the court the irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright.
It couldn't have been in the necklace. That's gone as evidence. The only thing that's left is the Cold Killer X.
Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all.
Cold Killer X! Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine?
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned.
What?
Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? But I lost my bottle around lunchtime on the day of the incident. And, you know, I probably just lost it by throwing it in the garbage can. Totally wasn't Doli. I always eat with Doli, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine.
I'd like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence?
Huh? What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she'd accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poison bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
I believe she did testify that she was going to eat with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and cut the electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. On top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poison and cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did it 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yeah, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow.
Oh my.
I look woke.
Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
Objection!
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, oh, Miss Hawthorne. This cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now.
Me a fay! Me a fay!
Oh no. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fay? That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being. Well, I have a very long memory, you know. And you and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Yes.
I'm going to spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. Phew. It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim.
Even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said.
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, you said, I could have sworn you said.
There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust a witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
If she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right?
You see, yes.
And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much do you how much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
My hair! It's lying on my beautiful head! No!
Oh, dear Jesus. Mr. Payne? About Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
Don't lie. Just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Faye,
Yes, Your Honor.
was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne?
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say?
It can't be true. My dear.
Dolly! Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court defines the defendant Phoenix Wright
Not guilty.
This court is adjourned.
April 11th, 3:16 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Mia, you were wonderful in there.
Nice good, Ken.
And thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius.
Mr. Grossberg, you maybe think you could stop talking about them?
Oh, that's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this.
Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking. Go on. The Doli that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the Doli I know could never have said those kind of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Why, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright. For your own sake. Yeah, you're right. It's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company does this guy keep? Right, now
I'm saying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye? A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. It also brings up some very precious ones. Memories that I thought I would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In the court of law, the greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Turnabout Memories, the end. Alright, people, I'm gonna have to leave it here for now. Now, if you liked this video, share it with friends, smash that like button with your gavel, and say, we want more Phoenix Wright videos, because I'm planning on doing this every Monday from now on, until I complete the whole trilogy.
Nice job.
So, once again, I hope that everyone has a happy holidays. I'll see you next Monday.